We did have Joe Budden at the same table. Did you ever catch that interview?
I did.
Let's. I think we might have a little bit of what it looked like. Tell me about Joe, who we love. We want to have him back, and the fit.
The chinchilla indoors is a bit much for me, and it's warm in here, so I don't see how he did it. But the chinchilla with the top hat indoors, it looks nice though.
It does look nice.
Looks nice.
You could say, yes, sir, he's cut from a different cloth.
Yes, the texture is the best fur.
The texture is the best fur.
That is it. It's a little warm though.
I love it's rocking somewhere between like Lucius from Empire and Nino Brown. Like I like that kind of style that he's got there. It's clean. It's clean. I like it.
We love it. I mean, he's welcome to come back. But first of all, if he ran it back in the same fur, right? They say, oh, don't repeat the outfit. We would love that. But we want to have him back either way. And that's what I want to ask you in closing. As a fan of the pod, what do you think people take from it? Because my main observation is, how long have you been friends with the host of that pod?
Almost 20.
Yeah. And that comes through. So even when y'all are bickering, it comes through as real rather than, some reality show or what we see in politics, which could be like pro wrestling. How much of it for you is we really know each other, and how much of it has been the evolution of you mastering a medium? You're a businessman, and you can get into a room and figure it out. How do you look at it?
We argue like this off camera. Mm-hmm. We'll argue like this at a Monopoly game. Like, that's just the nature of our friendship. I think it's two alphas maybe fighting for position. I don't know. But that's literally how we go about our everyday lives. And with regards to the pod, I think we just, I think the pod is so organic that what you see is what you get. Like a conversation can come from the kitchen, literally on screen, that we're having as just 4 or 5 guys that are almost like brothers arguing in the kitchen, and it'll just present itself on screen. Like, give it to the people. And so that's what you see. What you see is really what you get most time. 90% of it is what you see is what you get. No production, no script, none of that. It's just,
You can tell when it's the real thing. You can tell when it's authentic. You can tell when it's the real thing. And I will say this: I'm somewhat biased. I was super happy when y'all added Mark, because for all of us like academic folks, we loved having him up in the piece too. But yeah, like you guys have like a real vibe and a real energy. You can tell that's how it feels. That's how it feels as an audience. You're driving in your car, you're working out, you're at the gym, you're on the elliptical. It's like, all right, this sounds like a real conversation.
Yeah. Although since you brought it up, Mark knows a lot.
Genius.
It also is good to keep in mind that everybody knows different things.
Sure.
Sometimes there's a way of referring to knowledge, and it can come off like you're not understanding other people have knowledge. Mm-hmm. You picking up what I'm putting down?
I am. I think you're walking me out to the plank.
Yeah. I was like, are we doing this?
No, what I think is this. I think that contingent upon the demo, I think we touch all of the bases, right? And so I think that, but when people tune into your show, they know what they're getting, right? Like, you subscribe to that. So with us, somebody's sitting at their 9-to-5 job that they typically hate. They want to be amused. They want to laugh. They want to fall out. And like, my girlfriend watches, and she says her boss will come in and be like, what are you laughing at? Because she literally is laughing
and the
out
friendship,
loud.
they feel like they're with you. Right?
And so, I think that that's our main goal. I think everybody up there, like, we have real conversations off mic that are deep conversations. We just won't bring them to the recorder because, again, nobody wants to hear that. Or our typical fan doesn't want to hear that. Our typical fan wants to be entertained. So I think that with the addition of Mark, we touch base on more serious stuff now, because Mark is well-informed on a whole bunch, probably one of the most well-informed people in the country on politics and some of these other issues that are, in the media today especially. But I think overall, Joe, stop the show. Be like, we're getting too serious. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up.
Right.
All right, y'all, listen up. What you just saw was a quick clip from a recent MSNBC interview that featured a special guest. Yeah, Ish. Yep, you heard that right. Ish isn't in the JBP right now. Well, technically he is on the JBP, but not in the way we're used to seeing him show up. And hold up, he's actually stepping out and making moves on his own. for the first time in what? How long has he been on that podcast? Almost 5 years. And now, 5 years later, he's finally putting his face out there a little more publicly. Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at it, but I do have one question. Why now? Because let's be honest, you've been part of that podcast for almost half a decade. Joe has told you multiple times, and Ian said the same, go out there and do more than just the pod. Spread those wings. You're sitting on the #1 podcast platform. Why not capitalize on every opportunity that comes your way? But still, the question keeps popping up in my head. Why now? Then I started thinking about it, and listen to this. Because when Mark Lamont Hill came through, he practically gave a masterclass in maximizing opportunities. I'm not even exaggerating. That man is popping up on almost every show across the JBN network. So not only did he make his presence known all over the Joe Budden network, but he also launched his own Patreon. Yes, seriously. And on that Patreon, he's dropping his own thought-provoking commentary and discussions. But it doesn't stop there, because he even started a weekly show with his wife called In This Together, and the audience seems to be loving it. So, ever since Mark Hill entered the picture, he's basically been demonstrating how to really use the platform you're blessed with. And that blessing, of course, is being one of the co-hosts on arguably the biggest hip-hop podcast out there. So part of me feels like Ish noticed all of this. Listen, I might be a little messy saying this, but when B-Dot showed up, it also sent a message that Joe isn't afraid to switch things up if someone starts slacking. Joe will literally bring somebody in, sit them right next to you on the couch, and if they perform better than you and the fans start rocking with them, well, that changes everything. And let me keep it real for a second. The fans are loving B-Dot right now. And honestly, I'm one of them. I actually rock with B-Dot. In my opinion, he brings a refreshing energy to the room. But the real question everyone keeps asking is this: can B-Dot actually replace someone? Because some days I feel like he could, and other days I'm not so sure. Now, replacing Ice? Yeah, I think that's possible. I'm just saying, if Ice disappeared tomorrow, I don't know if the audience would feel that big a loss. But Ish is a different story. In some episodes, you really appreciate what Ish brings to the table, and in other episodes, you're frustrated because he barely says anything. So, right now, the question still stands. Could B-Dot replace somebody? And honestly, that's a very real conversation, because part of me believes the reason we suddenly see Ish on MSNBC is that B-Dot sat in that seat and started applying pressure, not just on Ish, but on Ice too. And beyond that, I'm starting to think Ish finally realizes something important. He understands that nobody on that couch is untouchable. If he keeps coasting, keeps staying quiet, keeps hitting us with that, nah, you got it, bro energy, his run on that podcast could get real short real fast. So, yeah, that's something to think about.